Hello there, I'm Eli at Gemalto, talking about the license that is part of Sentinel EMS enterprise product. Let me just jump to the first slide. What is a license? When talking about a license, first of all, before talking about a license, we are talking about the fact that there is an application which is licensed, or maybe an application which is protected in order to be able to work with this license. So the license does not come as a lone part of the scheme. On the contrary, the license is part of an environment where you have a licensed application with the license. So what is a license? We know about license in general, but when talking about license in Sentinel EMS Enterprise product, we are talking about a file, or maybe a string or a digital permit that is created by the software vendor. The software vendor, the one who has created the application and has done the protection for this application, that it will be working only with this license. And he created this license in order to have some conditions about his application that will allow and restrict the functionality of his application when it runs on the end user machine. So that way the software vendor can ensure that his application will run on the end user machine according to the license, according to the conditions that reside here in this digital string file that reside on the same end user machine. Now let me show you here an example of a license. Here we see a machine A. And on this machine there is the application, the licensed application with the license. Now a license can, and normally most of the software vendors will choose to do it, the license can be locked to the machine A. What does it mean, locked to the machine A? It means that this license knows exactly that the machine A is the place where the license resides on, and therefore this license will be working only on machine A. How does it work? How does this license know that it resides on machine A and not on any other machine? What is done in most of the cases, the lock is done using machine fingerprint. Fingerprint of the machine is something like the specific, let's say, hardware components that this machine A has, like the hard disk ID. So every machine has maybe the same hard disk, but not the same ID of the hard disk, because it's like something that is unique for every manufacturing of every hard disk. So this machine, let's say, have his own hard disk ID, and therefore the license knows what is the ID here and saves it inside the license, of course in an encrypted way, in a way that nobody will be able to abuse it or to change it. And so the license now knows that if everything, if the machine has really the same hard disk ID as it is being saved here, therefore it will be working. But what happens if we take this license and we copy it, the same license and the same application, but now we copy it and put it on another machine, machine B. Now this machine B, of course, has another hard disk ID, another fingerprint, and therefore this license, since it keeps on going and working only for the fingerprint that worked here, therefore there is some of difference between the machine fingerprint that reside here in the license and the machine fingerprint of this machine. Therefore, the license and the application, as a matter of fact, will not work. So this means that the software vendor can make sure that the license that he provided for specific machine, let's say for this machine A, the license will be working only if it runs on machine A, and if somebody tries to take this license with the application, put it on another machine, it will not work. So this mechanism is a lock. It means that the license is locked to a specific machine, and of course it's an option, but most of the software vendors will like to use it. Talking about the license, we talked about the fact that the license provides some conditions about what can be used from the application. Now suppose that the ISV comes for the independent software vendor. This is the vendor of this software. And suppose that the application consists of 3 different components, components A, B, and C. Now I, as a software vendor, can decide which license will be permitting to be using which component. Like here we see that I have created as a software vendor 3 licenses, license M, N, and O, and I provided the fact that license M will be able to use with component A only. License N will be able to use with component A only. Component B, I don't want anyone to use it. I don't know why, but let's suppose that I don't want anybody to use it right now, or I haven't created the license to be working with my component B of the application. And license O will be working with my component C of my application. So I create a license that defines which of my components of my application will be working. So any customer, my customer, ISV, if my customer, my end user will be taking license M to be working, will purchase my license M, then it means that the end user will be able to be working only with component A. But if some of my end users want to be using my component C, then of course only license O will be good for him. Not only that, meaning that I have the ability as a software vendor, I have the ability to provide license that defines which of my components will be enabled for him, but also every license have other conditions like how long it's going to be working. For instance, this license M is going to work for 3 months, starting from the first day that it is working. And we have license N. That license N provides another way of licensing. It says I'm allowing 10 end users to be working with my license in parallel. This is called concurrency. And for instance, in license O, I provide a license with type of perpetual, meaning that it never expires. It can be used, this license, forever. So, of course, there are many other combinations that I can, as an ISV, provide in every license. But as for now, you see that the license, we talked about the fact that the license provides some conditions that the end user will be working. So now we can see which are the conditions. The conditions can be which component will be allowed to be used, and also, of course, how long, how many users in parallel, all these kind of definitions. As an ISV, I can put inside my license, and therefore allows and restrict the use of my application for every end user according to to what I have provided to him. So this was about a license of Sentinel EMS Enterprise product. Thank you for watching.